struggled, okay? I struggled behind closed doors to the point where I was scrounging, looking for change to get certain things. And my checks were looking real sad. $200 every 2 weeks was just not enough. Didn't know how I was gonna do it, where I was gonna get the money to do it. I just knew I had a vision.
Simply Cheryl, simply Michelle. You're watching her on YouTube, and you know she got a vibe for me, she got a vibe for you.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Michelle. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys how I went from being broke to financially abundant. All the things that I did, as well as the things that I've realized that have helped me, that still help me till this day to maintain the lifestyle that I have. And I'm hoping that by the time you're done watching this video, that you feel some sort of inspiration and to live the life that you've always wanted. The mind is very powerful. I find that we tend to hold on to negativity more than we do positive things, right? So the same way we hold on to negativity, put so much time and so much effort into certain things, I learned that I could always flip it. Once I learned how to do that, then my life started to elevate. So I'm gonna get to that in this video. It may be all over the place because I didn't script this. My life is my life. I walked it. I feel like it's more organic for me to tell you it through experience, through my true feelings. You obviously clicked on the video because you are in a place in your life where you feel stuck. You feel stagnant. You don't know what your purpose is. I'm tired of trying to make ends meet. I've been there. I still have moments like that till this day. Although I'm in a better state financially, we are all human. Stress is inevitable. I don't care how rich you are. There will always be roadblocks that will try to block you, stop you. But it's up to you to just keep pushing and propelling and not letting those outside distractions stop you from what it is that you want to do. I'm going to try to wrap it up as quick as I can. I may have to stretch it some so that you guys can understand like where I was to where I am now and how I got here. In my younger years, I always felt like I was motivated. I always had drive. I always had expensive tastes. I wanted a house, I wanted a car, I wanted children. I just set standards for myself at a young age. Didn't know how I was going to get it, but I spoke it into existence. And I said, this is what I want for myself. Fast forward into my 20s, I became a mother. That's when I really started to realize life for what it is and, you know, living life on life's terms, if you would say, because I was really pinching pennies. I had really know what I wanted to do at that age. I became a mother at 23 with my first child, but I was still young and I still was trying to figure out life, you know. I felt like it forced me to put my big girl pants on and just do what I needed to do. It's not something I regret because I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for me becoming a mother and having to provide for my daughter. It was just me and her, you know, it was solely me. I was a single mother at the time. Had help from my mother, which was great, but at the end of the day, she was my responsibility. I had to care for her, I had to nurture her, love her, provide for her. I always had a job. I did a lot of retail and stuff. Once I became a mother, got into the health field. I became an HHA, home health aide, as well as a CNA, working with the elderly, taking care of them, which is something I always enjoyed doing because I knew I had a passion for helping people. Didn't know what I was gonna really be doing, but I knew I was going in the right path. And I got satisfaction by doing it. I didn't get satisfaction out of working was the amount of money I was receiving. It seemed like every time I got the check, it was gone because I had to get diapers, wipes, clothes, whatever it was that I wanted to get for my daughter, it was gone. So there was really no money for me. Although I lived with my mom, it still wasn't cutting it because I wanted my own bag. I wanted more for myself. I was always like, what can I do to make more money? Like I always wanted more money. I remember as a kid, I used to steal my grandma's plates. She had like these beautiful antique plates and I would go from house to house telling people these was all expensive and it had gold trimming on it. And I would make a few coins. I even went as far as to painting pine cones and spraying them with like scents and telling them that they were like perfect ornaments for your house. And I made a little coins. The hustle was always in me. I did the healthcare for a little bit, but it just wasn't cutting it. My checks were looking real sad. $200 every 2 weeks was just not enough. By the time taxes were taken out, I was left with just enough to take care of my daughter. I did more schooling so that I could have more on my resume. So I went to school for phlebotomy, which I finished it, but I didn't get to work because God had other plans for me. Upon living with my mom and being a mom of my own, I was like, it's time for me to like spread my wings, leave the nest and do my own thing. Just like, I'm gonna find my own apartment. Didn't know how I was gonna do it, where I was gonna get the money to do it. I just knew I had a vision. And I knew I wasn't gonna lose sight of my vision. Never lost sight of what it was that I wanted to do. Even though it seemed like it was impossible to happen, I knew what I wanted and I believed that I could make it happen. I kept working and I tried to save my money here and there. Income tax came around, so I was like, all right, ain't nothing big, but it's enough for me. It's more than what I'm seeing on a bi-weekly basis. So I said, I'm gonna take this whole income tax check and I'm gonna find me an apartment. I'm gonna have enough money to put down for my first month's rent and my deposit. Like, it's gonna be lit. Never forget, my grandmother drove me around and we went up and down different blocks in my area looking for rent signs. I was determined. I was determined to make it happen. I was determined to do this for my daughter. Out of all the houses I was looking at, I seen this one house and it looked like it was about to just collapse. But there was a for rent sign and it was a number and it was like 2-bedroom for availability now, whatever. So I called it, I jumped on it. Long story short, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. I was able to get the apartment, put the 1 month's rent down, the deposit, all that. I didn't have that much furniture, but it was mine, okay? It was mine, it was my daughter's, and I had a bed, and I had a bed for her, and in due time, everything else came. I say all that to say that was motivation in me right there. When I walked into my apartment and I had those keys, I don't think it really hit me that I did that. Looking back in it, I was like, wow, like I'm really a go-getter, and you just need a little bit of belief in yourself, just a little bit of confidence. Fast forward into that, life took a turn for the worse, as we know, life be life, and shit wasn't adding up, and my money was just funny, so unfortunately, I had to leave that apartment because I just couldn't uphold it. Long story short, I had to move back with my mom, which was such a bad feeling because, you know, when you leave the nest, you feel like you're an adult just to have to turn back around. I hated that feeling, but it pushed me even more. It made me go even harder because I knew I fell back, but I was going to get back up. I didn't lose sight of what it was. I said, okay, if I can get this apartment, I can get another one. 2 years later, I met somebody else and we had another child, so we were able to get an apartment together. You know, things were okay at first because now you have 2 incomes instead of 1 now, right? So things were a little easier for me. Things still were rocky. We were living paycheck to paycheck, just having enough. Just having enough for the bills, just having enough to get like a shirt or something at the store, if that, just making sure that the kids had everything. And I was just like tired of it. It started to burn me out mentally, physically, because I knew I wanted better, but I didn't know how to get better. I was looking for help, and I realized now that you can't find help from anybody. You have to find it within yourself. And at that point in time, I guess I wasn't ready for it. So just they were maintaining, and then one day I got the mail and I opened it up and it was a Section 8 letter, basically saying that I was accepted, that I got the voucher. Knew nothing about like government assistance when it came to Section 8, so I didn't really know what to do. But I was just like, wow, look at God. At that point, we were on the verge of, you know, struggling with our rent as well. And I was like, damn, I don't want to get evicted. Like, that's crazy. I'm not trying to go back with my mom. Like, I need to uphold this and I need to get it however I got to get it. Things were much easier, as you may know. If you know anything about Section 8, they help pay half of your rent depending on how much money you bring in. They pay a certain percentage so that you can stay afloat and that you don't really, there's really no way for you to get behind in your bills unless you're just blatantly just not paying your bills or working at all. It was a relief for me. I was like, wow, I can breathe. I was able to have a little more money, but not too much, because being on a program like that, it's set up for you to just stay stuck. And it was cute for a few years. After a while, I was looking at my surroundings and I was like, I'm not really elevating. Why am I still here? Every couple of years, I feel like I should be doing better than I was. And I see myself staying in the same area, staying in the same place, and I started to feel complacent. I feel like the program made me feel complacent, and it was just, I was comfortable. I knew I wanted more, but I was just comfortable. So if I didn't do better, okay, I'm always gonna be okay. I can always pay my rent. But I didn't realize that I was spiraling down. Yeah, it's nice to have these programs. A lot of people frown upon or talk about people who have the program thinking you don't pay anything when you really do, especially if you have like a decent amount of income. It wasn't for me, and I wanted more for myself. I found that every time I tried to move, it was a roadblock. You know, the voucher wasn't matching what the rent was, or you move into an apartment that just didn't meet the standards of luxury living or just decent living for that matter, because you're gonna get what you pay for. And I just knew I deserved better, and my kids deserve better. So it started to bother me because I was like, I need to do better. Like, I need to get off of this. It's a little stepping stone for me. My time is up now, so you need to really focus. 2021, 2022, I said to myself, 2023, I'm going to be off the voucher. I'm done with this. I'm grateful for it, but it's time to move on and move up and give it to somebody else who needs it. First thing to being successful is to believe. That is the first step to being successful, because you have to believe in something, but you have to believe in you. If you don't believe in you and you have self-doubt, then you will not take the next steps, or you will not push yourself to do it. For so long, I was looking for validation to help me, or whatever it was I was doing, I was looking for people to praise me. And I had to realize, like, why are you living your life for people? Like, why are you living your life to try to make other people proud? And then when you don't get that response, then it only just knocked me back 10 steps farther. So I realized that I was looking for validation for so long because, you know, when you're a child, you run to your parents when you get a good grade or something you do good, you look to your parents and you look for them to praise you and pat you on the back and say, good job. So that wasn't something I was used to hearing as a child. I think I grew up just always seeking that because I didn't hear it enough. When I started to love myself and realize that it comes from me, I would be lying if I told you that I just did this overnight. It was literally a process for me to find myself. I did a lot of self-reflecting therapy to figure out certain things to get me where I need to get because I couldn't move or do anything with anger that was holding on to me. You cannot do anything if you have anger tied to you. And so I just felt like the anger was stopping me, and fear was another thing. I was afraid to spread my wings. I was afraid that if I didn't have the program, if I didn't have my food stamps, how was I going to survive? Because I depended on something again. And I was tired of depending on people, places, and things when I knew I could do it for myself. We all have willpower, but sometimes we lose our willpower. Sometimes we lose our focus, the outside distractions, life, bills, work, school, relationships. Sometimes it can cloud our judgment and we just can't focus. Once you realize what it is that you want for yourself, that's all you need. I was tired of working a 9 to 5. I was getting up every day and I was tired of wiping ass. Yes, I enjoyed it. Yes, it was rewarding, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't something that I loved. I found a lot of times I'd wake up and dread the day. I was just mowing through the day just for survival because I had to. So I decided to take a chance and I betted on myself and I started doing YouTube. And everybody around me looked at me like I was crazy because they didn't understand it. Some people won't understand what it is that you're trying to do. You have to be strong enough to understand. Those people don't need to understand what you're trying to do. It's your vision, and not everybody is going to understand it. But you can't let those people who don't see the best in you disrupt your goal. And I had to realize that. And it was so hard for me to maneuver and keep pushing when everybody around me wasn't really supporting what it was that I wanted for myself. Because in the ideal world and the realistic way of living, people clock in every day and do a 9 to 5. I wanted to blaze my own trail and it felt good for me to do what I was doing. So when I decided to bet on myself, it was hard. I quit my job. And I'm not telling you to do this. I quit my job. I didn't really have any money. But again, I was on Section 8. So I felt like I had something to fall back on. I felt like it was like a leg up for me. So why am I like not taking advantage of this and like trying to get somewhere so I can get off of this program? I grinded every day, blood, sweat, and tears. The days that I didn't feel like recording, I still got up and pushed myself because I made it like it was a real job. And some people don't think that working at home is a real deal. It may not consist of hard work, but baby, if you are a content creator or any type of digital creator, filming or whatever, you will understand that this takes more time than an actual 9 to 5. And it's even harder when you have nobody looking over you. So when you go to work and do that 9 to 5, you're obligated to clock in or you're gonna get fired. But it's way harder when you're your own boss and you still get up every day and work. And that's where the self-discipline came. For me, I pushed myself because I knew I wanted better. I knew I wanted a house. I knew I wanted a car. I knew I wanted to get off the program. It's tunnel vision for me, honestly. There were many days that I cried and I was like, I can't do this because my hard work and my work ethic wasn't even reflecting on my videos. I wasn't getting money on most of these videos when I first started. I wasn't getting paid, but I knew that I loved doing this because it felt good when I was doing it. I feel like I'm my best version when I'm in front of a camera, not me clocking in with scrubs on every day and people are telling me that I need to wipe 12 to 15 patients. Even though I didn't see instantaneous results, I didn't forget the vision. I stayed focused and I just kept going. Even though there was nothing to show for it, I kept going and I kept going. And I was looking for other ways that I could make money at home. Once I started doing my hair videos, then I started to get sponsorships with like brands and stuff. Started getting paid from that on top of me starting to get monetization. When I started getting more following and more watch times, then I started to see results. Literally, when I stayed consistent, I started to see results. And I'm telling you this for a reason. If you stay consistent at whatever it is that you want to do for yourself, you will start to reap the benefits. It does not happen overnight. You may have to be in an uncomfortable situation first before you start feeling comfortable. And that's something I had to learn. Like I said, I had to crawl before I had to walk. I had an apartment, but I had to go live back with my mom. I had Section 8, but I was living in traps. I wasn't living in the best of the best living environments. I quit my 9 to 5 and I invested in doing social media, but I wasn't getting no money. I knew what I wanted to do for myself and I didn't give up. Once I started to see like results, I started to be really proud of myself. And it's crazy that once people started seeing results, now everybody starts to believe in you, you know. People don't believe in you until they see results. And that's the whack part about it, because I feel like if there's something that you want to do for yourself, I say you do it. I've always been a trendsetter, never wanted to do what everybody did. And I say all that to say, if there's something that you want to do, but it seems silly or people are not really supporting you on your vision, no idea is stupid. It starts with a thought. You can believe in yourself, and if you can dream, you can make anything happen. The same way that we go hard for certain things that we want, whether it's the new Jordans that are coming out, the iPhone, a car, whatever, we have all hit a point in our life where we went hard for something. Whether it was a girl that you wanted, a guy that you wanted, you put in time and effort because you wanted results and you had a motive behind it. The same way you can feel like that and want something like that is the same way that you can push forward and turn your life around and be successful. Success is for everybody. Some people are more fortunate and they have it handed down to them. I respect it more when you get it from the ground up, when it's not handed to you. You understand what it's like to not have, so that when you get it, you can appreciate. Some days I would feel discouraged doing this because I would have a good month where my videos would be hitting millions. I had million views, and then I had 1 month where I was only seeing under 3K, and I was just like, maybe this is not for me. I took a few days off to get myself together, because you will burn yourself out. I'm not saying to go full force and just kill yourself. I say start off small and set a goal for yourself. Small goal for yourself of something that to get yourself going. You gotta take small steps. And so when you need to rest, you rest. And that's exactly what I did. In the next few days, I got back up, got dressed, and I got in front of this camera because I had a vision. And I didn't want to lose sight of my focus. You have got to find that strength inside of you, because nobody's going to find it for you. No matter what you do, you can sit around all day and you can mope. You can just sit on your couch. You can settle with the life that you have. I promise you, when you wake up tomorrow and the next day, your life is going to still be the same. And your life is going to pass you by, and nobody's coming to save you, because life continuously goes on. Even when we're no longer here, life is going to keep going. People are going to keep going. So you want to set something for yourself now while you can do it. The excuse is on you. For the longest time, I was blaming people for. I wanted to place blame on somebody as to why my life was the way it was. Well, my situation is like this, so that's why I'm like this. Or nobody showed me certain things. Like, I made so many excuses for myself, instead of just looking at myself and realizing that I'm the only one that can change my life. I'm the only one that can change my circumstances. And I get it, it's easier to place blame on somebody because it just feels better. And sometimes it's hard to take accountability for the things that we do wrong, or the things we lack, or the things we need to do to get our shit together. I said to myself, I'm tired of living the way I'm living, you know what I mean? I'm tired of my living conditions. I'm tired of not being able to give my kids a better life. I said to myself, 2023, I'm gonna get off the program. I'm gonna get a new car. I'm gonna be grossing this much amount of money. I'm never gonna be broke again. I'm never gonna be broke again, because there were so many times before I reached this plateau, before I even reached where I am today, y'all, I struggled, okay? I struggled behind closed doors to the point where I was scrounging, looking for change to get certain things for myself and for my kids. And I'm not gonna cry, but it's real. I can't make this up. It was to a point where I was down bad, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna get money to put gas in my car. I was putting $5 in my tank to smoke cigarettes. And this is something that I'm opening up to you guys that I never told, but I used to smoke cigarettes because life started lifing, you understand? And that was my vice at the time. I find that sometimes we self-sabotage. You know, we hurt ourselves more than we actually need to. I knew I needed to do better, and I wanted better, and that's when I realized that I had to get it right, because this was not it for me. And I went in full force mode, because when you're tired of being tired and you're tired of your situation, you're gonna get up and you're gonna do something about it. If it wasn't for God working through me, speaking to him and having long conversations with him, I would not have had the drive. I would have not had my head on right, because listen, I was thinking all type of things. Depression is real. Depression will really make you, it'll swallow you if you let it. And I hit a lot of depression spots. I didn't know how to get out of it. I just knew I wanted better, and I just prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and I tried to be consistent. I say all that to say, my life did change for the better, because I never lost sight of my goal. I kept going even when I felt like I couldn't keep going. In 2023, I was able to no longer need the voucher, which is such a big accomplishment for me, because I worked so hard. I worked day in and day out to provide for my children, to do it so that I didn't need to want. I didn't need to need my kids. I didn't need to need anymore, and I didn't need EBT anymore. And I was able to move into a luxury apartment. I was able to no longer have to live in raggedy apartments, and I was able to wake up every day with a purpose and smile and just be in a different environment. And I did it. And so I'm just proud. I just have to share this because it's reality. I'm just so proud of where I am, and I just wanted to share this with somebody because my life has definitely changed. I just felt so compelled to be able to share this with you because I would have never imagined my life being the way it is now. I was going through so much at one point in my life. I just could have never have fathomed this moment where I would be living the life that I've always wanted. And honestly, this is just the beginning for me because I've always believed in continuously climbing. You know, opportunities are limitless. You just have to want to put in the work and go through a lot of things in your life and you feel like you can't move forward because of the things you experience. And I'm here to tell you that you can. You take as much time as you need, you go seek the help that you need, but you don't let your circumstances stop you from being the best version of yourself. You have to get up every day, you have to keep pushing, you have to do it for you because you're the only person that you have at the end of the day. You have to be able to look at yourself every day and be proud of the person that's looking back at you. And if you're getting up every day and you don't like what you see or you don't like how you feel, then you know it's time to change. And change is very uncomfortable. I talk about this all the time. Change is one of the most uncomfortable things for all of us because we're so used to what we're used to. Once you get used to being uncomfortable, that's when you're gonna really start to elevate. You're gonna have to work for it. Nothing happens overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen. So I went from being broke to financially abundant. And I can't tell you the last time I had to scrounge for change or was stressed out about how I was gonna pay a bill because I didn't have enough money or how I was gonna be able to get dinner. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the life that I have. I put in the work. About all of the BS that I was dealt. I was dealt a lot of bad, messed up hands, but that's still not an excuse for me to sit around and have a pity party. At the end of the day, you're still gonna have that same situation. You're still gonna have no money. You're still gonna be unhappy. You're still not gonna be able to live like you want to because you're not taking accountability and you're not trying to get up and do something about it. You have to put yourself first. Not everybody's gonna be able to come with you. I realize that too. Sometimes when you hit a certain plateau in your life and things are opening up for you, you're gonna notice a shift in people's energy, and some people may be hating from the sideline. Even those that you thought were down with you, they're low-key hating because they don't understand how you did it. You have to do things for you. That includes and that entails leaving people behind so that you can have your peace, your sanity, and you can stay focused and keep building, then so be it. Although I'm in a comfortable place right now, that can all change. If I allow certain things, situations, or people, negative forces to shift my energy, then I can lose focus. All of this can be gone tomorrow. The power of manifestation is real, honestly, and I talk about it a lot. Your mind is so powerful. So what you think and what you speak, your brain and your mind will start to believe it. Start talking to yourself differently. Be kind to yourself. And that's what I'm learning because I had a lot of doubt. When you have doubt, you can't prosper. Doubt will stop you from doing anything because you never think you're good enough. Faith over fear. All you need is just a little bit of faith that you can do anything. Tell yourself that you can do it. Tell yourself that you will do it. Write it down, but don't say you're gonna do it and then never do it. Procrastination is never gonna get you anywhere because before you know it, 20 years done went by and you're still sitting in that same predicament. Who's to blame? It's timeless for nobody, and time is so short. And I'm realizing that we're only here for a short period of time, and everybody has a date. And I want to be able to live my life every day happy with whatever it is that I'm doing. And I finally feel like I found my purpose, and it feels good to wake up knowing that I love doing what I'm doing. There's literally money for everybody out here. Just believe in yourself. The first step to being successful is to believe in yourself. What is it that you want to do? What makes you feel like your best self? The hardest part for people really need to find that passion for something. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta go through different stages until you get there. God will bring us through a lot of different situations. We'll go through a lot of battles until we figure out certain things. And sometimes He's not doing it to hurt us, He's doing it to help us. Sometimes we don't wanna face reality. We don't wanna accept what things are. You can't change a person, you can't change things, but you can change yourself. You can change how you think. You can change how you move. You can change your actions. It's all about self. Negativity is contagious. I believe it's very contagious. So removing yourself from people that are not good for you or not going where you are going, it's not for you to be selfish. There's nothing selfish in wanting your peace. There's nothing selfish in that. That's really what I did to get myself out of the situation. This journey is personal for me. It's on so many different levels. I feel like I shed so many different layers of myself. I didn't realize I had so many different layers of hurt, pain, a lot of anger. And I feel like I still have some work to do, but I'm not who I used to be. Better than I was. Believe that you can do better. Believe that you can get out of the situation. Believe that you already are living the life that you want. Because once you start believing it, you're gonna start living it. It's gonna come into fruition because the brain and the mind is powerful. The law of attraction is so real, and I promise you, this is my testimony. Manifestation is so real. It is so real. And if you guys want me to do a video on it, let me know, and I'll do like a video strictly about like how I manifest. I'm not where I was 2 years ago. I'm not where I was a year ago. And I wanted to share this and get personal with you guys to let you know that if my situation can turn around, your situation can turn around, and you don't have to just have one stream of income. Try to always have a plan B. You know what I mean? Even if things are going good in your life, don't just get comfortable with that one income. Always look for other ways to have multiple streams of income so that you never lack. That stream of income gets taken from you. Like I said, I do YouTube, but I also have backup plans too. Brand deals. I also have an Amazon affiliate program that I'm working with. I also have my own business where I'm selling merch, and I'm still working on other ways behind the scenes to get that revenue coming in, because there is money to be made, y'all. There's enough of it to go around for all of us. Hope that this video inspires you to get up, do what you need to do for you. There's money out there to be made. There's no reason why you shouldn't have any money in your pocket. I can do it. You could do it. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Leave me a comment. Turn post notifications on. And I'll see you in my next upload.
Simply Shell, simply Michelle. You're watching her on YouTube, and you know she got a vibe.